Nolan Wells' case just got more interesting. What happens when one person isn't convincing enough? Do they go get another person to convince us? That's the question that I'm about to answer. When Brandon Tatum couldn't convince us to side with him, they ran and got Jason Whitlock and Sarah Fields. Coincidence? I don't think so. Let's talk about it. Nolan Wells' case CoverUp is watched nationally by millions. And when Brandon Tatum couldn't convince us to spin the narrative in this case, lo and behold, we have Jason Whitlock interviewing Sarah Fields. Now, for all of you that don't know who Sarah Fields is a YouTuber that was causing all the controversy in the Carmelo Anthony's case with the other independent journalists. Craziest part of it all is if there was no cover up, there would be no narrative to spin. But yet, this is what we have. Take a look at this clip.
Getting to the point where we're actually going to see perhaps revenge taken against Ben Crump, the online idiots that have been trying to smear the reputations, the names, just again, the reputations of these kids that were friends with Nolan Wells, who went out to Horns Island with Nolan Wells, and now they find themselves targets of harassment, of online harassment, real harassment, threats towards them and their family and their friends and anyone associated with them, because Ben Crump and the Nolan Wells family, mother and father, have gone on a marketing circus campaign, Give, Send, Go, GoFundMe campaign, raising money for a crime that has never at all been proven, given any real evidence or credence. They're doing it off of speculation and harming people while they're doing it. Young kids who went out boating and partying with Nolan Wells. And maybe there is some shocking evidence that at some point will be revealed that says, no, this was a cold-blooded murder. It wasn't just another kid on a boat with alcohol and with partying who drowned. This happens every spring and summer across America.
As you can see, Jason wastes no time. He goes straight in for the kill on attorney Ben Crump. What they have against Ben Crump, I don't know. Like I said, it has to be Black excellence. They don't want it to happen because in their minds, for some reason, they got to be a different color. I know they got to be a different color. Not only that, you notice how at the end he tried to spin the narrative. This is the narrative they're trying to spin. They're trying to bring in the alcohol and they're trying to bring in the drowning. It gets better though, because he's bringing in Sarah Fields. Take a look at this clip.
This is a tragedy, but it is being made into a much worse tragedy by turning it into an all-out witch hunt on these boys who had, according to them, had nothing to do with what happened to Nolan. And the evidence points to them being completely innocent. And so this has turned into a witch hunt on Nolan's friends. It's really heartbreaking to watch it happen. And so my entire job on this entire case has literally just been combating all of the misinformation that's been put out onto social media so far. So what I'd really like to start with is a timeline.
We can start there. We can start there.
Yeah.
Let me add this little touch, because what you just described sounds very similar to the work you did on the Carmelo Anthony case. There's these flood of lies, and you just spent all day debunking them. And these cases have similar narratives in that regard.
They do.
She made two important statements there. She stated that according to them, and she also said the evidence proves it. Now, if the evidence proved it, why are you deflecting your position on how you feel about things? Because you're making sure you cover your ass and make sure you don't get sued. Ha! Caught that. Then he chimes in and brings up Carmelo Anthony case. And he talks on during the interview about it. Absolutely, these cases are similar. They are similar. But you see how the roles are reversed in the position you guys took? Bam, gotcha. Let's go on to the next clip.
Christine Wells. Warren, concerned for his friend, asked Christine if Nolan had come home, and Christine confirmed that he did not. Warren let her know that Nolan's phone was in the vehicle mentioned earlier. And
So when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, like, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like it had, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not, he's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone, they tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael.
See why it's not good to lie? She just sat there and told a bold-faced lie. But I think I heard Warren say it, and I know I heard Brandon Tatum say it. They're trying to spin the narrative and say that Warren told Nolan's mom that they had the phone. They're a damn lie. She tracked that phone, and her girlfriend went and got it. None but a bunch of lies. But nevertheless, let's go to the next clip.
At 4:28 p.m. on July 4th, in an attempt to keep the boat from sinking, Warren Hudson and other group members left Horn Island without Nolan and others. The group had to have one of the other boats that brought them there tow them back to shore. Nolan's phone and flip-flops were still on the boat when the group left the island. And we've also established with lots of people who frequent Horn Island that this was a normal practice to leave your shoes and your cell phone on the boat because, of course, you know, it's water and it's salt water and you don't want your phone getting ruined by the elements. Let's see, this fact has been verified by Eyewitness and Life 360 tracking services, which have been given to authorities. At approximately 4:49 p.m., a member of the group called SEATOW, that's SEATOW, due to the boat's motor issues, the group was unsuccessful at getting SEATOW to tow the boat back to shore, so they continued to have the other boat tow it. Authorities have heard that recorded call and have had a copy of the call. It took.
In this interview part, she's trying to bring back up why Nolan's phone was left on the boat. We get that. We're over that. But for her to try and rehearse, she couldn't remember her rehearsed lines about why they do it and how normal it is because it is salt water and all of this, that, and other, we're over that. Then she went on to lie and say they were unsuccessful at getting SEATOW to tow the boat. Lie. SEATOW has it on recording. They canceled the SEATOW call. Their grandfather, whomever that was, canceled the SEATOW request, I want to say. The grandfather called and canceled the SEATOW request while they were on the phone calling Cito coincidence. Then later on, a part of the interview that I did not clip was when she went on to talk about there was another person of the group that stayed behind. Where is this person at? Because if he stayed behind on the island with Nolan, maybe he know what happened to Nolan. So where is he at? They never said this before. This is new to me. I didn't hear it. Did you guys hear it? Let me know in the comments. Nevertheless, this is them spinning the narrative again. Brandon Tatum couldn't help him. So now they're going to Jason Whitlock and Sarah Fields. Well, good luck, because it's not working. Lies, lies, lies. Nolan Wells' case cover up continues. Drop down in the comments how you feel about this new plot to try and spin the narrative in Nolan Wells' case. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you are alerted the next time I upload a new video. And as always, follow me for more controversial topics.